some stuff going on. And here's what I want to tell y'all about that. This stuff happens, first of all. It happens, unfortunately. And if there's anything I can hope for you today, is that you take the opportunity in this sort of home practice environment to really listen to your body and to give yourself the opportunity to skip things. So there's something really empowering. I talked about this, I think Paula, you were in my class yesterday, so I hope I'm not a broken record, but there's really something empowering about deciding not to do something. And that's not just, sorry, that was really obnoxious, that's my heater. That's not just in the world of postures, that's in the world of everything. This idea that we have to do everything is nonsense. So in this practice today, giving yourself the power to say, I'm not going to do certain things. And in our practice in general, that might be something that lasts indefinitely. Like you just take certain poses out that don't suit you. Like shoulder stand just doesn't feel great on my body. It's very rare that I practice it for more than 10 seconds. So with the stuff that's going on in your bodies today, skip things. If your shoulder is bothering you, if your wrists are bothering you, we do chaturanga, it's a vinyasa class, skip them. Start with your breath here. And I'll talk more about that as we get going, but I do want to get going. So seated comfortably, eyes soft, breath 5 times in through the nose, and then out through the nose. I'm Maeve. In through the nose. I didn't introduce myself. Exhale through the nose. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last time, inhaling. And exhaling. Come onto your hands and your knees. Last time inhaling there, I should say. We are definitely not done breathing here. So on hands and knees, if your wrists are bothering you, feel free to come down onto your forearms. If your shoulder's bothering you, maybe take some weight back here. We're just going to move with the breath again. Inhaling, lift the heart, the head, the tail to the sky, and broaden the collarbones. Feel the shoulder blades move into the back, and then with your exhale, we reverse the spine, pushing it toward the sky, dropping the head and the tail. Inhale, pulling through. And exhale, rounding the back. Keep moving here. So again, if you're nursing any wrist stuff, you can absolutely do this on your forearms. If that feels like too much pressure on your shoulder, move it back. So there's always a workaround, and you have the intelligence. I know as practitioners that you have the intelligence to make some of these choices, and I'm going to do my best as a teacher to give you modifications that will help you. I'm just making sure I've got everything here. Perfect. Okay, I've got all the info. I got all the info that's coming my way today. Even though I can't hear you guys, I'm going to put everyone on mute just in case you can hear each other. But the chat is available because I couldn't hear you talking anyway. So if this feels good, stay here. Let it evolve however it wants to. If it feels okay, maybe turn your fingers to face back toward your knees. Now if you're having wrist issues, that's not going to feel good. So you're not going to do it. Yes? Yes. And if you took the hands around, you'll carefully bring them back. And then stretch the arms long. Shift your hips back, but not into full child's pose. Keep the hips just off the heels. Push the hands down and start to build some energy in the arms here. If the shoulders feel too much, or if you're working with a shoulder injury right now, put the elbows down and just be softer here. But if you're feeling good, push the palms down, all of the knuckles, all of the fingertips.
And then start to feel the triceps hug in toward your ears, and then move your biceps away from your ears. And then with your inhale, rise back up and come down onto your belly carefully.
Bring your hands next to your thighs, palms facing down, thumbs facing out, pinky fingers facing in toward your thighs. Draw the chest open. Heart is lifting, feet are down. Stretch your tailbone for your heels. And start to hug the pinky fingers in toward the thighs. One more inhale. Bring your hands next to the ribs, tuck the toes, press up and back into downward facing dog. You can skip this. So again, I've got people telling me shoulders and wrists aren't feeling good. Skip it if it doesn't feel good. Child's pose or something else that feels good in between. Just maybe kneeling down. Yep, these are beautiful. Very nice. Very nice. Take a few more breaths here. Good. Beautiful. Keep staying in your breath. Feel your hands. Really nice. You guys look amazing.
Two more breaths here. And then slowly walk your hands back to your feet. Allow your head to hang. Your knees do not have to be straight on your legs. You can have a bend in your knees. And then pull the heart forward. Lift your heels up. And just start to shift forward. Walk back up to plank.
Or walk out to plank. I don't think we've been here yet. Knees are great. Forearms if needed.
And then lift the hips downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg behind you. You can do this on hands and knees if this dog is not working. Draw your knee into your chest. Place your right foot forward.
Pull your heart forward, come up onto your fingertips. Wake up your back ankle. Come high on the toes. And then slowly start to straighten the front leg. And then soften the knee. And just do that a few times. Straightening the front leg any amount. Use blocks if you got them. And then bend the knee. And then rebend the front leg, lift the back leg up. Really gently melting toward that front leg. Left leg stretching long and away from the right foot. So yes, this is a standing split, but I like to think of it as a single leg forward fold, allowing that torso to kind of drop down. And then bending the standing leg, reach the left foot back. Come into warrior two. Give me a moment here. Give yourself a moment here. Straight into the feet. Lengthen the arms. the front leg. Pivot your right toes to the left, and then release down, Prasarita Padottanasana. Hands at shoulders distance on the ground, or on blocks. And then inhale, pull length to the spine. Take a moment here, balance your weight in your feet, inner, outer foot, front, back foot. And then look at the width of your hands. Keep them at shoulders distance. Hug the elbows in toward each other, and then let the head drop down. Inhale, pull length into the spine. Bring your hands around top of the mat. Simply step back to plank. Lower down, floor or chaturanga. Inhale, rise. Up dog. And downward facing dog. Exhale. So the power of letting go of certain poses. If chaturanga doesn't suit you today, you're not going to do it today. If it has the effect of not suiting you over a period of time, maybe it's something you let go of. Yeah? Beautiful. Left leg stretches back. And then draw the foot forward. And then just stand the fingertips and pull the heart forward. You're not crazy deep here because we're working toward straightening this front leg. You're going to take an inhale, lifting up the hips, straightening any amounts, and then exhale, going in deeper. And inhale. And exhaling. This is your moment here, just exploring, playing in this very simple movement. Kind of feel what you need. Start to shift forward. Bring the hands down, sweep the right leg up. Standing splits in the left leg. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Good. Awesome. Paula, that was really impressive there. I was going to see if you could pull it off. I liked that. Literally pull it off. Good. Stay with your breath. Start to bend the standing leg. Reach the right foot back. And just arrive in warrior two. Yeah. So I started by saying injuries happen, like things happen to our body. They do. They're not ideal, but they happen. And how do we treat ourselves in those moments? Since a few of you let me know that you're working with stuff right now. And I'm hoping there's a lot of kindness toward yourself when you're not feeling 100%. Even when you are feeling 100%, I hope there's a lot of kindness toward yourself. Not allowing poses to make you feel bad. So if you can't access a pose, it's just a pose. And if you can access a pose, not feeling bad about that either. Rise up. Pivot the foot. Good. Lace your hands behind your hips. Draw the chest open. Soften the front ribs. Lift the heart straight up to the sky. And then bowing forward. Releasing the crown of the head in the direction of the floor, and the arms stretching away from the shoulders, the hands away from the shoulders. And more about finding length here and finding the space in the length than cranking your arms overhead, right? Giving your arms length without hyperextending in the elbows. and toes open. Bring your hands onto your thighs. Just glide the hands down. Take a twist, shoulder drops in. Doesn't matter which way, it really doesn't. And then the other side. Come back through center. Move to the top of your mat with your hands. Step back to plank. Inhale. Chaturanga or skip it. Rise up, inhale. Downward facing dog with your exhale. Lift your heels up, just listen. Start to walk your feet toward your hands. See if you can keep your legs fairly straight. And then lengthen up halfway. Fold deeply with your exhale. Rise to stand with your inhale. And draw your hands into your heart with your exhale. Inhale. Lengthen the arms up. Stay here, please. Just sweep the hands to the sky. Maybe soften the gaze, maybe even closing your eyes, rooting down into your feet. Calves to shins, shins to calves, kneecaps up on the thighs. Shorten belly button to pubic bone. Sternum to belly button. You do not need to depress your shoulders down. Let your shoulders rise up as much as they want or as little as they want, but really reach the fingers up. Make those arms as long as you can. Gorgeous. Yes. And then in this position, really feeling the breath, really feeling the power of your body. Good. And maybe today, if like your shoulder's hurting, maybe your arm isn't overhead. Maybe you're here and you're still powerful. Feeling your center. Feeling the energy you get back from the floor by pressing your feet down, by feeling those roots. One more inhale, and then forward fold, exhale. Come halfway up with an inhale. Listen to me. Step your left foot to the back of your mat. Rise up to crescent pose. Inhale. We'll take a few breaths here. One more inhale. Bring your hands down. Step to plank. And then whatever you do with it is up to you. Vinyasa or downward facing dog. And then your left foot's going to step to the top of your mat. You're going to rise up into crescent. And we'll take a few breaths on this side. And you'll bring your hands back down to the top of your mat. You bring both feet to the top of your mat. Lengthen halfway with your inhale. Fold deeply with your exhale. Rise up to stand. Inhale. And draw your hands into your heart. Exhale. Inhale. Reach up, rise up. Exhale, bowing forward. Lengthen the spine, inhale. Step your right foot to the back of your mat, exhale. Rise, crescent. Hands to the ground, exhale. Step back. Vinyasa or not. And then right foot steps to the top of your mat. Crescent, inhale. Hands, feet come to the top of the mat. Exhale. Rise all the way up, inhale. And draw your hands into your heart, exhale. Inhale, circle and rise. Exhale and bow forward. Lengthen your spine, inhale. Step your left foot back, exhale. Crescent, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Rise, inhale. And down dog, exhale.
Left foot comes forward.
Rise up. Crescent. Come to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Rise to stand. Inhale. And bring your hands into your heart. Exhale. Last time, rise up. Inhale. Exhale and bow. Inhale and lengthen. Right foot steps back. Crescent. Inhale. And then exhale, release it. Chaturanga. Rise. And dog pose.
Your right foot steps forward.
Crescent with an inhale. And then top of the mat. Fold. Rise up to stand. Inhale. And draw your hands into your heart. Exhale. Inhale to chair, bending the knees. One more inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway inhale. Vinyasa or downward facing dog or hands and knees, whatever you need to make this transition so we can come into some standing poses. Awesome. So Vinyasa is just linking breath and movement. Vinyasa is placing with purpose, placing the body with purpose, placing the breath with purpose. Vinyasa is not defined by Chaturanga. Right leg stretches back with an inhale. Draw your right knee into your chest. Place your foot forward. Virabhadrasana 1 with your inhale. Warrior 1. Straight up the center. So in Warrior 1, at least what I'm going to ask you to do today, because you maybe have seen this a number of ways, but contain the front ribs a bit. And then breathe side ribs and back ribs. And resist that up and down breath and try to breathe widthwise instead. So that you're almost creating like a hollowing of the belly here, at least energetically. And then feel your arms come from your back rib cage. And really give the arms extension. And just like when we were standing here, don't worry about what your shoulders are doing. If your shoulders are rising up, fantastic. They're supposed to do that. That's okay. Build the strength of the arm from these back ribs. So you notice I haven't even talked about the legs in Warrior 1 yet today. Build this, build this. And then of course, legs are strong. Back foot rooting down. Front leg bending, back leg straightening, finding the balance between those two things that allows you to stay on your center. One more breath in. Vinyasa or down dog. Or Chaturanga Vinyasa or down dog. Left leg back with your inhale. Exhale, plant your foot forward. Root the back heel. Lift up. And then powerful. So if arms overhead for your shoulder is too much, maybe hands at your heart. Build that same strength. One more inhale. And Chaturanga or not, move through. And then listen. So you can do that same thing. Right leg reaches back, right foot comes forward. You'll go into Warrior 1. Or left leg reaches back. You come high into the right toes. You bend the right knee. You take a little hop up to bring the right foot forward. And then you arrive in Warrior 1. So you'll have those two options. So if you want, right leg stretches back, right foot comes forward, you rise to warrior one, and then we release out, chaturanga. If you want to work on handstands with me, this little transition helps to kind of build confidence in these transitions. So left foot's going to come forward. You can either stretch the left leg back and step it forward, or stretch the right leg back, come into the left toes, and then hop up. Bring the left foot forward. Come into warrior one for a breath. And then chaturanga with your exhale, or not. You're going to do that 3 more times each side on your own. You're going to move with your breath. Leave off as you need to, add in as it feels good. So if you're working with shoulder injuries, wrist injuries, and you want to just move from warrior one to warrior one without taking that chaturanga, you just step it the same way we did in that sun salute. Awesome, Joshua. Yes. But it's for you. This is your practice. So if you want to play with me, you'll play. If you want to keep it a little more grounded, keep it more grounded. And when you've done 3 on each side, you'll find stillness in maybe down dog or in child's pose, or maybe in a handstand. And then I'll wait for you. You might already be waiting for me. Feed your body breath. Breathe into the ribs. Especially the back and side ribs. If you're in child's pose, we're going to move to the top of the mat so you can come when you're ready. Lift the heels, bend your knees, feet to your hands. Come halfway, inhale. And then fold, exhale. Chair pose, inhale. Lift the heart, drop the hips. Siri's trying to get involved in my class. Go away, Siri. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yes. So good. Here's what we got coming up. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Your feet do not have to be together. Inhale, chair. Exhale, forward fold. I'm forward folding, I'm sweeping the arms. You don't have to, you can have your hands down on the ground. You're just moving between these 2 poses. If you would like, you inhale to chair. You bring your hands down, you take a little hop. I wasn't intending to stay in it, but maybe you'll stay in it. Maybe you just come in and out of it. So it's like playtime. Wrists aren't going to be happy doing that, so if your wrists aren't happy, skip it. If your shoulder's not there for it, skip it. Otherwise, it's just chair, forward fold. There is something for everyone, I promise you. Let the breath be like just this beautiful song. And when I'm doing this handstand work, I have this little mantra. I say, inhale, exhale, float. Inhale, exhale, and float. And even when I'm not floating, when I'm landing like a ton of bricks, I'm still saying that mantra. Just about 10 seconds more here. And then make your way back to your belly. So it could be through plank, it could just be like a little step back. Right arm out to the right side. Roll to your right side.
press into the right palm, the fingertips, the knuckles. Slow down. Last breath in. And then release it.
Pass through center, right over to the other side. Roll to the left. Good. Push into the palm, push into the knuckles. One more inhale. Come back through center. Bring your forearms down to the ground. Elbows under your shoulders. Tuck your toes. Come onto your knees first. Front ribs draw in. Heart pulls forward. Gaze past your fingertips. If this is enough, you stay. Tuck the toes. Straighten the legs if it's okay. Dolphin plank. Forearm plank. Slowly, hips release down, Sphinx. Draw the thumbs toward each other. Spiral the pinky fingers a little wider, and then maybe start to curl a little higher. Maybe the elbows start to lift up off the ground. Notice that I always say maybe on these things. Not everything is a yes. A lot of things are big, gigantic no's, but there's always a maybe in there until you know. Slowly, with control, come back down if you came up. Tuck the toes, knees first, round number 2. Forearm dolphin plank. Check in with your breath, check in with your thoughts. Have you pulled yourself out of this? And then carefully release down. Left arm out to the left with a bent elbow. So we're going to start on the left side. So I'll show you on the right side. Actually, that was probably not wise, but it looks like this. But we're going to go to left first, just to kind of mix up that order. And just notice how it feels a little different with the elbow bent. Be kind. Go in slowly. So anytime we move towards something, we're exploring. It's like you're on an adventure. But you don't want to jump into quicksand, right? So we dip the toes. And then as it feels okay, if it feels okay, you give more pressure into the hand, into the arm. Last full breath. Come back through center and flip it right over to the other side. So right arm, elbows bent, like a cactus. And then palm the floor. So connect down, base of the index finger. Try to stretch the fingers a little longer and get all the knuckles down.
brings you back into center.
Find your way back to child's pose, to hands and knees, or to downward facing dog, please. So I'm giving you all those options. By the way, I'm so happy that even if you're not feeling 100%, you're here, because that's when we got to show up. And that's when we have to adapt our world to suit us, including your practice. So thank you for being here if you don't feel 100%, and for trusting me to take you on this adventure. I'm going to ask you to trust your best intuition as well. Rise high to your toes, inhale. Bend your knees, exhale. Look forward, bring your feet to your hands. Walk, step, or jump. Lengthen your spine halfway. And then fold deeply with your exhale. Chair with your inhale. And bring your hands into your heart. Take your left arm outside your right thigh, and we're going to twist here. We haven't done a lot of twisting yet. Let it be easy. Even if we had done a lot of twisting, let it be easy. Let the breath guide you here. Maybe open up the arms. Maybe lift up your heels and bring your hands around. Plant your hands, shoulders distance. These are all just options. Elbows hug in and you tip forward. My feet have not left the floor. I'm inside crow even though my feet have not left the floor. But if you want, your feet float up. Keep these elbows hugging in. You start to feel pretty light in this right arm. Keep drawing the belly in. And then wherever you are, we all come back to chair in the center. Bring your hands into your heart. Don't go anywhere though. Pick up your left knee. See if you can bring the left knee in toward the hands. And then start to hinge from the right hip. Tip over the right leg, and then extend the left leg back. So if it's there for you, you're coming into standing splits without your hands on the floor. But of course, if you need them, just put them down. And if you can, thumbs press to heart, heart presses to thumbs. Pinky fingers press into that standing leg. So you start to create like this connection between the torso and the leg. But that might not be there for you, and it's okay too if it's not. And then we arrive with grace back in chair. And then hands into your heart. And then right arm outside the left thigh to twist toward the left. And then we take the same process here. This is perfect. This doesn't need to change. There's not always something else. Sometimes you are where you are and it's perfect. But if you want, maybe the arms open up. Maybe you come into the toes and bring the arms around. And you want to get this right elbow as high up on that left thigh as you can. And then just plant your hands. You don't have to go anywhere. And then you come to your toes. And then maybe the feet float up. And there's this sense of lifting in your center. Beautiful. And then come back into chair with an inhale. Really nice. Really nice. Yes, I see you. Beautiful. And then bring your hands into your heart. And then pick up your right knee. And get this little bit of like, almost like you're doing a crunch or you're doing a cat's pose. To then tip over and extend that leg back. You're standing on the left leg, your right leg is extended. A little look ma, no hands and standing splits, but if you need your hands, just put them down. You're on an adventure, you're exploring. Yes. Awesome. I love it.
And then back into chair.
Shift back into the right foot, lift the left knee up, rise up to stand. Be big here. Find your center. You can keep your left leg bent, especially if your hamstrings are tight, feel free. But if it's okay, you're going to extend the leg out straight, even if it's low. And you're going to inhale, lift the leg a little higher. And then exhale, without touching the floor, you're going to just lower the leg down. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, lowering down. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. You've got one more like that. Inhale, lift the leg up. This time, exhale, put the left foot down. Shift into your left foot. Shift into your left foot. Right leg goes back. Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Arms do not have to be overhead. They can be wherever you want them to be. Warrior 3, standing on the left leg. Beautiful. That work we did to lift and lower the leg, find a little bit of that here to keep the leg extending back and lifting up. And then rise up, right knee lifts up. Take a pause. Breathe widthwise into the ribs. Breathe into the back ribs. Maybe extend this right leg out straight. Inhale, lift a little higher. Exhale, lower without touching the ground. Inhale, lift up. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's go one more time. Rise up with the inhale with that leg. And then exhale. Place the right foot down. Tip into the right leg. Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Inner left thigh lifting. Outer right hip pinning in. Looking for length and space. Practicing a whole lot of patience here. And then start to bring the legs back together. Come into chair, right into toe stand, lifting the heels. And then lowering, and then however you need to get there, we're going to come down onto your backs. Legs lift up. Pause. So hamstrings tight, keep a bend in your knees. That's going to make things a lot happier. Inhale. Exhale, shoulders curl. Lower the legs any amount. Stay here, breathe. Into the back ribs, into the side ribs. Hug your knees in, drop your head down, beautiful. So for handstands, there's an element of that low boat, that hollow hold in the inversions. Right leg straight up to the sky. Left leg extends out, floating off the ground. Inhale. And then exhale, curl the shoulders up. Same body position. You're going to start to lower the right leg with an exhale. And then inhale, pull it up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Again. So this is what we did standing. We're
We're just making shapes. 2 more. Both knees in. Give yourself a good squeeze. Pause. Left leg up. Right leg extends. Curl the shoulders if it's okay. Inhale. Exhale, lower the left leg. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. I didn't say how far. It can be small. It doesn't have to be big. So good. Last 2. Hug your knees in. Good stretch here. Feet to the ground. Knees bent. Arms at your side. Broaden across the chest. Pull the collarbones broad. Push the backs of the arms down. Palms to the sky. Lift up gently into bridge. I say gently, don't crank yourself super high here. Instead, looking to get a straight line from your shoulders to your knees. Lengthen out the tailbone, shorten belly button to pubic bone, sternum to belly button, and then open the chest a little bit more. Maybe push the shoulders down a little more and sort of wrestle them under your body. One more inhale. And then release it down with your exhale. And then just pause, receive that pose. If you have a block, you're welcome to put a block under your sacrum. We're going to come up one more time to bridge or into upward facing bow. For upward facing bow, hands by your ears. Push into the hands, push into the feet. Maybe your feet are a little wider than usual. Come to the crown of the head if you'd like, and then from there, rising up. Give yourself space. And then down, exhale. Happy baby if it feels good, whatever else, if it's better for you, do that. So we're going to take a moment. It's a great time if your shoulders or wrists are bugging you, like some of you have said. Maybe legs up the wall. Maybe just stay here, legs go straight up. But letting yourself have some quiet. Remove that from the equation, right? If you want to take that core work we just did, that work we just did on the hands in Urdhva Dhanurasana, and you want to translate that into a handstand, that's our lift. That leg up and down here. That's our lift for handstand. Same thing on the back. So especially if you're bendy, like I have the tendency to go into a banana, right? We got to keep some of this strength, this containment in the center for handstands. Don't worry about the end product. It's an adventure. So you have to play with it. So if you'd like, you don't even have to go up. You might just be here, lowering and lifting the leg. That can translate into a lift. You don't have to hold it. You can take a few rounds of it on one side. Or maybe you find some balance and you stay. And then maybe you take the other side. Ideally, you do lift with both legs. Yes. So beautiful. So good. Good. Nice, Lydia. And you use the whole hand. The fingertips. Let the fingertips be like little breaks for you. Really good. You've got about 30 seconds left. And then when you are ready, come on down from whatever it is you're doing and come around to seated. So good. Awesome. Cross-legged, stack the shins if you prefer. And then bring your hands together, lace them. Whether or not you did handstands, lace the fingers and just do some circles here. And then switch the thumb on top, lace the other way, and do those same circles. And then rise up. And maybe shift forward. Use your feet. And come back up. And then switch your legs, cross or stack. So good. And then take your left arm out, palm facing down. Take your right hand to the top of the hand, and then just gentle stretch here. Gentle. Come back up, flip the palm, and then same thing, gentle stretch. Maybe bend this elbow a little bit. So good. And then we switch. Palm down. So this is not passive. This right hand is not passive. For all things pressure, you're giving back. And then flip it. And then rise up. And then maybe coming forward. And then rising up. And then releasing and finding a comfortable position. So I don't want to jip you of Shavasana if you love Shavasana, come into Shavasana, but we're going to finish seated in meditation if that's okay with you. So find a comfortable position. Let your hands rest on your knees or on your thighs, palms down or palms up, that's up to you. Lift the shoulders, soften them down the back. And just trace your breath on the way in. And trace your breath leaving your body. And see if you can allow the breath to crawl the back body a little taller. As you're here, allowing the breath to sort of self-regulate. You don't have to do anything to it. Just observe.
your hands into your heart in Anjali Mudra. In this last moment together, honor you showed up. In whatever state you came, you always come as you are. It's an adventure. Sometimes you come thinking that everything's great and it's not. Or you come the other way, feeling like everything hurts and then you feel great. We're just here to receive the messages from ourselves and to dive a little deeper into our core. And I'm not talking core work, I mean the core of our being. Draw a breath in together. Breathe out together, knowing that in this space, in this world, we're all one. I thank you for being here. I thank you for your practice. Jai. If you have questions, if you need anything, please let me know. I'd love to know where you're from.